Nice to meet you, Uwa.
Nice to meet you too.
Can you tell me about your AI journey? How do you come to experiment with new technologies, and what kind of background did you have?
Oh yeah, certainly. So firstly, thanks for setting this up, Alex. My background really in AI started when I was at university. My final degree was on machine learning, a fingerprint identification system. So that was my first introduction to machine learning, and this is over, without stating my age, over 20 years ago, right? So there's been that interest there. So from university, I went into the IT world working, and as my career progressed, I started working more and more with machine learning tools as I've worked for different organizations. The most popular tool that I've worked on in the past is Elasticsearch. And Elasticsearch is also a tool that we talk about within the community that you can use for handling data and for searches. And at one point, they introduced machine learning. They acquired another company, brought it in, and had machine learning there. So once that was introduced, I deployed the machine learning aspect of Elasticsearch within the organization, and we're using that to monitor routers at Wi-Fi routers at different companies. And part of my work then was also to do automation through something called DevOps and CI/CD. So there's always been something within my career that's involved automating things and getting machines to think for themselves, and the intrigue of writing something once and then watching a machine or a robot just continue. That's been there. So that's how I got into AI. In terms of the current incarnation and the agency that I'm running, kind of that idea got sparked when I spotted Liam on YouTube, and after watching him for a few of his videos, I kind of thought, well, this is what I want to be doing, and this is really exciting. It's an area where I think I have good background, good knowledge, and I can contribute significantly. So it was a no-brainer for me. I joined the community and did a few courses, did a course at University of Oxford, and used that to get the confidence to then go into the community and start pushing my own agency. So that's my journey.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You have very great alignment with the technologies that you studied before and used in your professional career. But then I think when you want to switch to your own agency, to your own solution, what was the first idea that came to your mind in terms of automation? So did you try to implement it in your personal efficiency, productivity, or did you use some friends, some business that you had some access to?
That's a very good question. So the always created solutions. That's my thing. So when I see a problem, I go and write the software to do it. So I founded an app called ValApp. It's a valuation app for real estate. And the ValApp is a tool, it's a web app actually. It's a tool that helps real estate investors appraise opportunities and appraise deals. The reason I created that app was because I also operate in the real estate space, and I got tired of people outbidding me for contracts and for projects. And it's purely because those people just don't know how to do the numbers. They don't know how to do the figures. So I felt, okay, if these people understood how to do the figures, then all of us could be bidding on a level playing field. Because a lot of the things they buy, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, is back on the market because clearly they didn't do their numbers well. So I created this app which would help investors do their calculations. Then as part of the app, there's an aspect called a high frequency calculation, which automatically goes out to the property portals, pulls the adverts, and then does the calculations in the background. Then at the end, presents me with the deals that it finds. So that's something in my own business that I was doing. And prior to that, I also created a solution called Data Plan, which goes out and scrapes different websites for data plans and works out the cheapest. And this was specifically targeting the Nigerian market. So works out the cheapest plan and publishes that plan every day. So that all comes from my background through automation. And these are concepts I came up with, created a solution and just pushed it out there to see what happens.
You just ignited some connections within my mind. And first, that one of the person who I like a lot after reading his autobiography by Arnold Schwarzenegger, And he was, in his youth, he was a real estate agent, and he was doing a lot of buying, selling with apartments. And he came to know the woman who was the smartest one in California, and she, together with him, they made some good deals. And I think that is also the one thing that many people, even they are not in real estate, but everybody who is active in life, he comes to these deals. And I think that a lot of people will take advantage of this. And by the way, is your solution universal to be used also in Ukrainian market, for example?
The ValApp not, no. The calculations, yes, because the numbers tend to be the same in most places, but it's not able to pull any Ukrainian website just yet, but it can be made to pull Ukrainian website because it was built in a modular fashion. So yes, it can be adapted, but right now, no.
Yeah, so it's a kind of universal one, but it can be adapted to any market, but just a little bit tweaking and exploring the APIs and that data structures. So basically, you can work with any data. So with as a data scientist, I think that you are a data scientist. So you can use all the data and play with it. This phrase that the data is in new oil, data is in new gold, but also data is in new oil. So yeah. How do you command this?
Do you know what? I used to subscribe to that as well. But then I listened to a podcast over the weekend, and the guy was like, "No, data is not the new oil, because if data were the new oil, then everyone that had access to data would be doing as well as Google and the rest of them. The data itself is useless unless you're able to understand that data and see where you can apply that information, right? So what do I mean? Millions of people have access to ChatGPT, for instance, which has all the data, has access to all the data. It is oil. We have access to that oil. If it were oil, then everybody would be making loads of money from ChatGPT or from whatever data ChatGPT has scraped. But it isn't. The thing that is the real oil is interpreting that data and applying it where there's opportunity. Google has all the data in the world, yet they released Google Glass and that failed, right? They had all the data, they had attention, they had everything. So it's not... So if you had asked me this question last week, I would say, yes, data is new oil. But this podcast has kind of got me thinking, is like, the guy's right. Data in and of itself isn't the oil, is the opportunity and interpretation of it. Yeah.
So you touched a great point about even the best guys, people who has all the data and all the experience. Still, they can produce the product that doesn't bring any results. So it's the same with Hollywood movies. If ChatGPT could write the perfect scenario and take the best actors and put the best crew together, then every film would be a hit, right?
Yes.
But 90% of movies just don't touch hearts. Yes. So in terms of personal life, what do you think for a layman, a usual person, what kind of tools can he use to make his life more fulfilling and his career faster? What do you recommend?
So that's a very good question, and it is a question that I've been considering, especially because I train some people on using AI tools, and it's a 12-week program where we go through many tools, and every week is a different tool. The audio tool, the video tool, the image generation, and all those things. What I'm finding though is giving them the knowledge isn't actually enough, right? Because some people go through that whole program and they say they're still nervous using ChatGPT. And somebody mentioned that on the call, and I was like, how can you be nervous? I just said, I don't want to break anything. How can you break ChatGPT? It's impossible. We've been doing this together. You're one of my best students. Why are you nervous? So the point I'm trying to make is it's all down to the individual. What do you want to get out of your career? ChatGPT is not a magic pill. And we have found that despite ChatGPT giving us so much information, and Sam Altman mentioned it recently, that he doesn't know why people believe ChatGPT so much. My guidance to anyone would be the best in your career and then use ChatGPT to make you even better than the best. There's no point going to ChatGPT or any of those AI tools to make you into something you are not. Because when ChatGPT lies to you, which it would, it's only the best that will know that it's lying. So if you want to improve your career and move further in your career, I think, this is my stance today, is you have to first try to be the best right now and then use any of the AI tools, be it ChatGPT, be it an image model or video model, to then extend what you can do. That is my guidance.
Yeah, so I support your way of thinking. I think that whoever tells that the human creativity will die, or the books will die, or the cinematograph will die, so the same people who that when cinema came to the scene, then some people told that the theater will die. And so also there are always some things in books. Also these books are like I buy on Amazon every month like one book and I read this, and I think that there's always something magical in the books, in the way of how you communicate with the author. So this is kind of audience, some one-on-one communication between you and one of the smartest person on earth, who put all his knowledge of his or like this 1000 hero mythologist by Campbell. This is all-time book. Although another thing, this is by Marcus Aurelius Meditations book, which is all-time book that you share. It will not lose its originality even in the world of AI. And so, as a founder of an agency and automation, what do you think your impact do you have some impact filter of how you will use this technology to have influence on this world, apart from what you told me about real estate?
Yes, impact in the world. We see the AI agency as an enabler for the bigger goal that I have, and the bigger goal I have is really more philanthropic. I want to help people back home. For me, back home is Nigeria. I want to help people in Nigeria in business. I want to help them in their education. I want to help them in their vocation. Some of them want to move into business, and there are different systems there where what's actually stopping them is a little finance. It's not a huge amount, it's a little finance. So for me, I'm in a fortunate position where I can start an agency and potentially make some money from it. And at some point, I'll make enough to be able to help other people achieve their own goals. So if I can see people achieving their goals, that makes me extremely happy. And if I can be part of that journey, that's it. However many people I'm able to reach, that's fine. If it's one person, if it's 1,000 people, that's fine. But the main thing is someone's life has changed because I had an input. And I know my life has been changed because somebody changed my dad's life. So it's something that I'd like to carry on perpetuating and just helping as many people as I can. So I see the AI agency contributing towards that ultimately.
Yeah, that's what you told me reminds me of the book of Give and Take by Adam Grant, where he explains that people are more givers and some people are takers, some people are givers, but most of us are a combination between the two extremes. And what in your words, I hear the words of a giver, or a person who wants to make impact on the world. While I was in India, I had an interview with a teacher from Scotland who taught Indian children, and she told me, and that was very actual at the moment, it was 11 years ago, that she told me, and I remember these words because she told me that just by teaching them how to speak English, they will have tenfold opportunities in the world. Because if person doesn't adhere, maybe in Nigeria, I don't know, but in Ukraine, now more people know English. But for my career, for my position, I understand that most of my opportunities came from my knowledge of English. And I think that it differentiates me from most people that I know, because I don't I can speak to you, I speak to the best people in the world. I can just take knowledge directly from Liam, from other people, from Sam Owens, who was before Liam. There was another guy, Sam Owens. Maybe don't know. You know Sam Owens? No.
Sam Owens. No.
He was from New Zealand. He is the king of consulting in the world, and Liam quotes him sometimes. You know.
Oh really?
Yeah, because 10 years ago, check Sam Owens. He had very similar style. Very similar to Liam, the same style of presentation, same style of training, so you can check him.
Okay.
So I think that is advantage. So I think what you told me about tell about the importance of education, and also importance of you want to change the children of Nigeria and to give them more opportunities. Can you tell me what steps, if you have the money, if you have the power to do this, then what steps do you plan to do?
Okay, so that's quite an in-depth question. Yeah, so the steps are straightforward. So I know I lived in Nigeria for quite a long time, in a southeastern part of Nigeria. So I know the terrain, and for me, it would be I'll need to acquire some land, and the 4 pillars I want to push would have essentially 4 departments there, and I'll need to employ people to operate those areas. But the difference between what they might have now, they don't have a lot of what I'm thinking, but the difference would be that it would be technology based. So it'd be AI based. If they're making, there's a big film industry in Nigeria called Nollywood, and a lot of people from my part of Nigeria produce films. I would want them to produce films using AI. The benefit of using AI, even if it's like VO2 or stuff, paying for those credits for them and then giving them devices to go out and recreate scenes, right? Because one of the visions I have is everybody should be able to create their own film based on their creativity. And there will be someone else out there that would enjoy it. So remove the barrier of them having to find a scene and go to somebody's house and plead with them to use their house to do the films and to go hire a bus and stuff like that. If your mind is saying, I want to create a film based in London, I think AI is already at that point where you can do that and create those skits or create those short movies or bunch them all together. But they don't have those devices. So that's one of the pillars. So I'll buy the land, build a structure where they can go to a place and have access to that technology. So that's for those who want to go into movies. Then I have another side for people who want to do fashion. Because the last thing I want to do is force them down my idea of what success looks like. Not everyone wants to do education. Some people just want to go make movies. All right, go off, make movies. You want to make music, go off, make music. I want to be the enabler. But for that to happen, I'll need to set up the structure, set up the building, get the employees in place and fund it. So that's my idea. Acquire the land, set up the structure, employ the people that would work in the place and set up a system where I can keep track of what everyone's doing and what they're producing.
That's a great idea. And I worked a lot with cinema industry because many of my friends were in cinema, and I had some video studio 15 years ago, and I shot more than maybe 100 or more corporate movies, and I made my documentary about India, 20 minutes documentary. I went with my gears with camera in India on Himalaya, and there was one temple called Badrinath, and you can see on YouTube my film. I can share the link, but it is in Russian language actually, because we were moving this in Russian language 11 years ago. But also I have one friend who lives in Himalaya, and he is an actor in Bollywood movies. He is an actor. Oh, really? And he played like Alexander Macedonian general in a blockbuster, and he was killed in the movie. Like, it's funny, but this video got like 60 million views on YouTube. Wow. So, and he shared me. I told him that he's in very good form. He's on constant self-development, and he teaches people who come to Himalaya for meditation. And so I think that you touched, I have my idea I want to share with you, and maybe it aligns something with what you want to do. I want to create like AI coach that is mini program, maybe 1 week to 5 weeks, where the coach wants to give his student he wants to change the life of his student by providing books like on meditation or on education, creativity, but feed the AI with knowledge bases. And this bot will every day check the answers of the students. They will have preliminary questionnaire and some questions for the students for the initial point. And then every day he gives him some readings from the knowledge base according to the level of the student, because it's always unpredictable. So knowledge bases are some books, then it gives some readings, then it gives him some provoking questions, it gives him some quotes with each time it's a different time of the day. Chatbot in Telegram asks questions or gives quotes or gives some readings or asks for some actions or gives you like some program. And you need to write something in reply, and you can also ask something. All the replies are in the database, and each day the chatbot slightly adjusts to level of the student, to his answers, to what he did yesterday, gives him some some critiques and some kudos, and then the coach overlooks this, and from time to time he can also suggest to have a meeting, to book a paid session, and it can be done in psychology, education, and meditation, in yoga, and we are creating systems of this. And for this, I would like maybe to have your help or maybe advice, and maybe we can use together make this, because I think this is universal, because it can be a slight program, simple one, but very adjustable, very individual. It's a blend of personal coaching and AI. So the coach is 10 times, it gives 10 times more the communication and knowledge and sessions that it can be available physically. And so it amplifies the knowledge, and it's not impersonal. It's personal, but it just helps to make it more. So for this, what do you think can be done in the areas that you mentioned?
Yeah, it definitely can be done, and I think it's a wonderful idea. As you were speaking, there's an idea I was also thinking of some time ago, which we can discuss offline. But I think we're aligned in that, right? That mentorship thing, and also you and I being aligned in the fact that we recognize that the human element has to be there. So it's not just going to be something that you can throw over the fence and just let AI handle all the way through. There need to be the human there. That personal coaching is a bugbear of mine, to be honest. Like, a lot of the really big name coaches that people want to hear speak cost a lot of money to go and see, but a lot of their content is free online, right? So with the right coaching, with the right access, people can use a tool like what you've described to get the information they need, because most times what people need, if they are driven, is just confirmation that what they're planning to do makes sense or could work and stuff like that. So I think it's a good idea. I mean, we'll look through how it can be implemented so that it's consistently, it doesn't hallucinate.
It can be overseen by the trainer. We can adjust the prompts, but we can go anyway with this and adjust with your situation, with Nigeria, with Ukrainians. And so I think, by the way, I can share you also my ideas. You can comment from your standpoint. I am kind of into philosophy and study books. I study Indian books like Bhagavad Gita, and I study some Greece books, Stoicism, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and different authors. So as you can imagine. And so I have one kind of system. From my standpoint, it's more or less neutral, but universal. I call this Kairos because there are two ways of measuring time in Stoicism, in Greece philosophy. One of them is Chronos. Chronos is a linear time in hours and minutes. And there is another time, and this time is called Kairos. Kairos is a time of enlightenment, the time of when you perceive the world in full, that you live in the moment. It's called Kairos. So my standard Kairos is 6 words, 6 abbreviation, and it's Kairos. Creativity, and affluence. This is what you give to the world, and you take from the world. Give, creativity, and affluence as money and richness is to take. Then IR, intellectual and relationships. Intellectual is IQ, and relationships is EQ, emotion and intelligence. And then organism, physical type, and spiritual. Kairos, creativity, affluence, intellectual, relationships, organism, and spiritual. This is my kind. And around this, and then it's under the umbrella of Stoicism. And so Stoicism has 4 principles. Principles of you should be fair to all the people, you should be modest, you should be wise, and should be brave. So there are 4 principles. I think this is a weekly program, and I wanted to do it 10 weeks. And for the first week, I created some books. From my first week for creativity is Stephen Pressfield, and for affluence is Alex Hormozy. For intellectuals is Jim Quick, called Book Limitless, and then for relationships maybe Mark Manson or maybe Jay Shetty, even this blogger from America. And another one, organism is Michael Greger or Peter Attia. And spiritual is maybe Robin Sharma, because he's neutral, not with any religion. So this is one little program that I have in mind. And what I want to make AI coach around this. As the first, I already created some prompts, and we can consult. If you have your own program, then what would you teach?
If I have my own program, what would I teach? Quite often I'm cynical about teaching. And let me explain what I mean. My journey thus far suggests to me that what people need really is just the courage to be themselves. Because a lot of people have achieved some level of success, but they can't do it again. So you teaching someone else to say, okay, this is the way to follow, that's the way to follow. Is that really what's going to give that person true fulfillment and true peace? And often two people can do the exact same things and end up with completely different results, right? Different outcomes. So in terms of teaching, I struggle to be prescriptive. But what I would say is, in my life, this is what I did and this is what happened. This is the outcome. For you, go find yours, but be brave. So it will just be giving people enough courage to know that regardless of what happens, it's going to be fine. But you need to make a move. Get started. Make those mistakes, because you will make mistakes. It doesn't matter who you listen to or whose books you've bought. You still have to get out there and make those mistakes, and it will be fine. Right? That's what I'll be teaching people. Just be free. Go and explore. God did not make all of us to follow one path. There's so many different paths that exist. And if our Creator is creative, then clearly He doesn't want everybody to be following the exact same path. He's created people for uniqueness. So just go and push that. So that's what I'll be teaching us, encouraging people to just go and explore. Yes, I understand you've got bills to pay, but your uniqueness has to be explored. Otherwise, you'd keep struggling, and you may be rich, but you still be struggling. So that's what it'll be a very short book.
Yeah.
Very short book. Just go off and do it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Still, and I support your attitude. I think you're aligned with this, because books. I think that books are just communication between people, and you need to be creative. And one exercise of creativity is to do something every day. So what some bold act, some brave act, or do some meditation, some writing, some drawing, or doing something for the world? And what does your day look like?
You're asking some really deep questions. I like it. So more recently, I used to be skeptical about meditation, right? And I never really understood what the point was. Like, just sit there. So recently, I've started to explore it. I'm still at the beginning stages, but I'm exploring it as one of the first things I do. Because so many people who are successful say they meditate. So there must be something there. Everyone can't be stupid or, just believe in some fantasy. So I'm starting to explore meditation. So I start 5-10 minutes meditating. I'm just thinking through what's going to happen in a day. Then I write my journal of what's going to happen in a day, my plans. And then I spend some time on my AAA agency, my AI agency. And typically the first part of the day is to do something that I think would move the needle and push in the area. You talked about bravery, push in the area where I struggle. So I'm technical. I can write code any day. I can do anything. But marketing is just, such a struggle. So I push in that direction. So I reach out to people, I phone people, I do my cold emails, I find out what's going on with the emails that are already sent, I'll make changes, I'll tweak the copy, and then I do all that because I feel that that's what's going to move the needle for my agency, and that's the area I need to push in. And then I'm based in the UK, so around that time, so just like between 5 and 8:30 in the morning. So around that time, New Zealand's awake, some parts of America are awake, so I phone people in those places when I have a lead to chase. If there's no lead, then just do emails and do outreach on LinkedIn and stuff like that. And then it comes to the normal time for me to start work with my consultancy, and I work through the day, and then in the evening I do that again if there's nothing for any of my children to do. So I still have young children, they've got after school activities, so I take them. That takes priority, and then when I get back, I spend some more time on the agency, responding to messages, writing code, learning new tech, pushing my knowledge in N8 or Make or voice agents, and then that's it. We'll do it again the following day.
Yeah, that's cool. But I have two questions, and one of them is what about the cold outreach? What kind of techniques do you find the most successful? Do you find regularly new clients from cold calling or emails or LinkedIn?
The truth is, I've had the most success reaching out to people within our community. So just like we met, right? That's why I've had the most success. Close to that would be my warm leads, people in my phone book. I just sending out messages now and again, just reminding them what I'm doing. My email performance has been quite poor, right? And I'm working with a coach to try and fix that. But it's not been that great at all. So I'm still yet to be convinced that cold outreach via email works, but there are businesses that operate on that basis. So there must be something wrong with what I'm doing. But as I say, I've got a coach. LinkedIn is quite good because up until recently, I was trying to appeal to property managers within the real estate space and not push so much my technical side. Then I had a meeting with a lady called Anjali, and she was like, you need to operate in the space where you have your unique power and your area of unfair advantage. And that unfair advantage comes from my combined knowledge of the automation world, the AI world, and my real estate space. So I switched to that, and that's freed me a lot to post what I really would like to post and don't care if it's controversial or not. Those are my thoughts based on my experience, and that's led to more people connecting with me. So in the order of what's most fruitful from a cold outreach or from an outreach standpoint, I would say reaching out to people in the community, having discussions with them, LinkedIn, my warm leads, people in my phone book, and then email last. That's how I rank them.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I think that we are on the same page in terms of outreach, because I also spent time on cold emails and this instantly and for clients too. But we see that only people who we knew for some while, even with the clients, so they react. But new people that don't come in. Mm-hmm. But we will continue this path for a while. And I want this is still on my radar for this year. But what in terms of how people, tell me about your agency. What people, do you have a team, and what kind of roles do you have, and how do you delegate tasks on your agency?
Okay, now that's a wonderful question. So my agency is called Autori.ai, and it stands for Automating Real Estate. So Autori. So it's I think from the beginning, real estate was my focus. The idea within Autori was that I, being sort of the lead technical person, the architect and everything, would be the person to go into the AI space and bring in clients. I would architect solutions and then get Python programmers to, essentially my team, to write the code for anything that's custom. So when I started off, I wasn't sure if it would be a success. So I couldn't start building a team around that. I have a team with whom I work. Right now they do websites and website management for different organizations. And then the idea and the dream is that AI would take more of their time so I can move them over to assist me. So how it works is that for now, I'm the AI guy, the architect, the person going out doing the marketing, and I have a team of programmers that can support me because I want to go into the custom programming side.
What is your uniqueness in this industry?
Okay, so within my agency, our goal is really to help businesses scale. So AI presents the opportunity for smaller businesses to step up to the next level. There are many organizations that are struggling with manual tasks that are repetitive, that they're struggling with, and really there is technology that can help them move on to the next phase. Many of us have heard about AI, many of us have heard about the automation, but most of us are not experts at it. We are here to help organizations understand what AI can actually do for them. And we do discovery calls and we work hand in hand with these organizations to help them improve. Many people are struggling when it comes to business. Some people's businesses have plateaued, and that's mainly because they have reached the limits of what they can do personally. But I know that your ambition is much greater than where you are now. And the next level might not be hiring new people. The next level might be bringing in technology and bringing in the right technology. You still get to manage your organization. You don't have extra people to do it with, but you have the technology by your side. So why come to us? We work with you hand in hand. We get to understand your organization and guide you through the process of going to the 10x that you want. We are a group of people that are very, very well experienced, quite talented, and we have the empathy to work with anybody, regardless of what your challenges are. And often we do the consultation. If it's suitable and right for you, we will let you know and work with you. If it's not, we'll give you guidance and refer you to the right places if that's needed. So if you're in a situation where you feel AI might work or might not work, but you're unsure, just reach out and we'll have that initial conversation. And if it works, we can guide you through. If it doesn't, then we'll also still guide you. And so I think that's what sets us apart. We've got the experience, we've got the knowledge, and we've got the empathy and the patience to work with whomever.
That's a very inviting reply. It's very warm, and you think that your human qualities and your ability to give and to use your knowledge, experience for the welfare of the world and of your origin country. So it will play an important role in the development of your AI agency. Thank you for this interview, Uwa, and I wish you all the best. I'm hoping that I will be kind of your partner or tool in the future for this. And I also hope that we will continue these talks because I enjoyed it a lot. I think that you have a very deep personality and you have a profound not only knowledge of the field but also the wide angle of understanding the world and your role in it, and you want to make an impact for this world. Thank you.
Thank you. And can I just say, I'm so glad that we have connected. I'm so glad that we met. And I have to say, what you're doing is inspiring. You're doing amazingly, regardless of the conditions around you. Anyone watching would not know that you're actually in the middle of a war zone, yet you keep on going. And I believe you're doing this not for yourself. You're doing it for a wider benefit. People whom you're inspiring, people who listen to you, people who watch you all the time. Believe you me, they are taking note and you are encouraging them. So please keep it up. And I applaud you for your courage. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Uwa.